Hi everyone, good afternoon. Just giving everyone a little bit more time to join us. So today we'll be talking branding, personal development related to social media, brand growth, how to use your personal brand to help build everything that you're working towards in community and business. So question from Vincent. Yes, I was part of, it was Inc. and another publication as well. They did their picks for top 10 social media disruptors and influencers to watch for in 2017. That was incredible. I was so humbled, and it was a total surprise. I got basically a notification from Google Alerts, and it said that I was tagged in an article, and so that's how I found out about it. Basically, with that type of involvement, I think they're really looking at what type of impact you make. I think it's less important about your number of followers, or even, how high the engagement is on your posts, but it's more about what type of content are you putting out. Is it actionable? Is it helpful? Is there value that your audience is getting out of the posts and the different types of input that you're putting out there? And so hopefully that answer was yes. And I was able to get named on that list. So that was really, really exciting and a wonderful way to start off the new year for sure. I think one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is just really finding a way to match everything that you're putting out there on social and having it be part of your brand and business. Growth hacking, let's see. I think growth hacking is, it's a wonderful tool, and I have a lot of colleagues that utilize it for LinkedIn, for Instagram, for all these different social platforms. But I think one of the main differences with growth hacking versus actual digital marketing is it's focused for a very short period of time. You use growth hacking to gain X amount of followers, and then it's just kind of a one-time thing. I feel like with a true marketing strategy and a branding strategy, you're in it for the long haul. I started building my brand and working on it probably right out of college. I modeled all during college and grad school, and so that was my opportunity to really work on my personal brand, and that's exactly what I did. And since then, I've been able to parlay it into business and into more items that I'm passionate about. What else? What other items are important? I always tell people, especially with the speaking I've been doing, actually this coming week, I'll speak to a group of high school students that are part of a gifted and talented program called Leaders in Training. And then next week, I'll speak at UNLV to a great student group over there. And one of the messages I always share with my audiences, whether it's high school, college, or beyond, or young professionals, is just to be aware of your social media presence. Something as simple as having all of your handles match. So that's across your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook, not only for yourself, but also for your businesses. So for example, with Sin City Cupcakes, our handle for all of our social media platforms is at Sin City Cupcakes. It's not Cupcakes Vegas or Sin City or, a bunch of different ones. It's all always the same. What advice would you give to an inexperienced individual looking to build their self-brand? Get out there and get engaged in your community. That's the number one thing that I would advocate for someone who's just starting to build their brand. The main reason for that is because once you're out there in the community, you get a chance to meet so many different people who you perhaps would otherwise never meet. And it's so helpful in not only building that personal engagement for you, but also creating a platform for communication and to help build your business in general. During my time as Miss Nevada, Miss Las Vegas and Miss Nevada, I got a chance to do so much community outreach all across the state. So I was all around Las Vegas. I was traveling up north into Reno, Carson City area. I got a chance to meet everybody, and it was really, really helpful for not only my personal brand, but also my businesses. Yeah, so get out there and get engaged in your community. Absolutely would be something that I'd advocate for someone who's just starting out to build their brand, and also someone who's continuing to build it out too. Anytime that others in the community see you putting forth effort and making your community a priority, you'll be rewarded for that, whether that's in your personal life or through business. People see it and they appreciate it. So I would definitely recommend that for sure. Get out there and get engaged in your community. Give me some more questions. Let's see, what else? So like I said, definitely having all your social media handles match. That's hugely important, not only for personal brand, but also for your businesses. And also realizing that your content that you put out should have a solid foundation for Medium. Always making sure that you're on target and on message of whatever it is that you want to promote. Do you think Vegas is becoming more of an entrepreneur startup hub? Absolutely. I think it definitely is. Here in Las Vegas, because we're so tied to the tourism industry and the hospitality industry, and food and beverage, of course, too, which is amazing. It's fantastic. But what's nice is that here in Nevada, it's so business friendly. We have no state income tax. We have no corporate tax. The cost of living is really, really low for it being a major city, a major metropolitan area with all of these wonderful big city amenities that we get, yet we don't have to deal with really, really crazy traffic or insane crime. We don't have to do any of that stuff, and we still get all the benefits of getting to live in Las Vegas. Hey, DeMarcus. So absolutely, I think Las Vegas is becoming more and more of a larger entrepreneurial hub, startup hub. There's some great resources that are building out all across the city. One of my favorites is Red Flint, which is actually downtown. It's an initiative by the University of Phoenix, and it's basically this totally free co-working space. I got a chance to go on their tour and be part of some events that they had down there through the World Economic Forum Global Shapers program. And Red Flint is doing some great stuff, so I love it down there. There's another question here. Let's see. What was your toughest point getting started in your entrepreneurial career? Wow. I would say just, gaining the momentum to get started. There's a great saying that done is better than perfect. And I think that's totally true, because even with starting Sin City Cupcakes, we didn't have all of our ducks in a row in the very beginning. We even did it without a business plan, and it's just because we were so excited and wanted to get going, and we kind of learned along the way with great people. So the question is, you have your own show. Can you talk about what it was like to start that in the process? Yeah, so I was really lucky to get approached by one of my amazing mentors, and he was Yui, and at the time he was with Cox Communications. And basically they were looking for an opportunity for the Asian American community to have a voice. And initially there was thought behind maybe just having it be like a daily talk show. And especially at the time, I still am so focused on business and continuing to build. So I said, well, I wouldn't want to take it on if it's just a talk show, and we're talking about like celebrities or gossip or something, is there a way that we can transform it into being more business geared or business centric? And they were totally open to that. And so that's how we were able to get started on that. And it's been an amazing ride. Now it's on demand on Amazon Prime and on Roku. And we've had really, really great feedback from that. Let's see, more questions here. What was the first piece of advice a mentor gave that you still live with to date? My parents told me from the time I was very young that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I can't tell you how true that is. There have been many times in life and career where, maybe I wasn't the prettiest, I wasn't the smartest, I wasn't the most talented, whatever it was. But every time my work ethic would shine through, and it helped me to just realize that I was able to achieve what I wanted to achieve as long as you put your brain power behind it and get some people to help you, of course, get the right input and knowledge, but your work ethic, you're the one who has to do it. And so 100% hard work beats talent every time that talent doesn't work hard. Let's see, what does Youngry mean to you? Well, I love the tagline with Youngry, young in spirit, hungry in ambition. It's been really empowering and motivating, especially through my writing with Forbes. I get a chance to interact with people in business and people who are just starting out sometimes with their startup. And they range in age. They're sometimes still in college and they're just starting out with their first endeavor. There are people who have switched into like a second career and they worked. One gentleman I was emailing with, he was a physician, a cardiologist for like 20 years, and then he decided to open up his own auto shop. And so I love hearing stories like that because it just goes to show that you can continue to be motivated, continue to be inspired, and it doesn't have anything to do with your age. It's just about what speaks to you and what it is that you want to accomplish. Let's see, another question. What are 3 books you would pass on to anyone you mentor? Oh my gosh, there's so many great ones. Actually, right now, I'm currently reading Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss, and I can't tell you how incredible it is. It's basically, you guys have to go pick this up, Tools of Titans. It's basically a Cliff's Notes version of all of the amazing entrepreneurs and business people and successful people that Tim has interviewed on his podcast. And he takes their best practices, he takes their recommendations, he takes all of these different things that they discuss in the podcast, and it's a Cliff's Notes version. So Tools of Titans for sure. I love the book A Shark Never Sleeps, and I read it when I was in grad school, well before I even had any idea of wanting to go the business route or entrepreneur route. And it's by Drew Rosenhaus, who's a really amazing sports agent. And that's definitely an inspiring book. So be sure to pick that one up. And then lastly, the third one, there's a book called Contagious. And it's got an orange cover. It's called Contagious. And it's all about why things go viral. Why is it that, Kit Kat bar with the Give Me a Break jingle, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat, why did that become popular? Why was that something that was really, really successful for their brand? And the book Contagious, it delves into all these different examples of really popular jingles or marketing strategies or slogans, and it breaks it down of why the general public responded to it and why it became obviously profitable for the brand that brought it to fruition. Let's see, another question. How important is personal branding for college students? It's immensely important. As I mentioned earlier, I'm speaking to a group of UNLV students next week, and part of my messaging to them is to be cognizant of their personal brand because, right now they're in school and that's totally fine, but everything they're putting out right now is a digital footprint. It will leave a mark, right? And so I'm definitely going to remind them that right now they're a college student, but at the same time, they're currently representing their school. They're currently representing any student organizations that they're part of. And what they're doing now and the posts that they're making now and the content they're putting out now will also be representative of their future companies. It'll be representative of their future employers. These are all things that they have to be cognizant of and be concerned with, because everything they're putting out right now is being recorded and is able to be pulled up later at a different time. Another question. What's the best piece of social media advice that people can implement immediately today? I would say just start building out your content. Think about what type of messaging you want to put out and what speaks to you. Is it a positive message in the morning? Is it something inspirational? Is it something religious-based? Is it business-based? Is it food pictures? Whatever it is, make sure that your message is consistent, and that's how you can start building an audience that is interested in the same type of interest that you have in the content that you're putting out. So another question. Do you have a morning ritual or specific things you usually do every day to be most productive? Absolutely. One of my main things that I do every morning is I try to get up around the same time frame every morning. Even if I'm traveling, if I'm in a different time zone, I still try to get up. So it would be Pacific time, sometime between 6:30 and 7:30. That's just naturally when my body wakes up, and I try to adhere to that type of schedule. Another thing that I do every morning is I send out a positive outbound message to my parents. I text them every morning. I say, hi, good morning, I love you, hope you have a great day. And for me, it just helps set the tone for having a positive day, and really just building it out to make it something great. I think it's really important to start your day off with gratitude. I know selfishly it helps me, and it's nice to get that inbound back from my parents as well, telling me that they love me and to have a great day. It just really starts the day off nicely. There's a question here. What's more powerful in social, videos or pictures? I think it depends on what type of messaging you want to get across. I think pictures can do a really great job of having really strong imagery and then perhaps maybe a strong caption. With video, you're able to show product right away. I know, like with the cupcakes, for example, we do a lot of images and curated photos, but every once in a while we'll do a fun video of inside the bakery, of us baking or scooping out batter or making frosting or whatever it is. And so I know that video helps with our engagement quite a bit, because people are able to see us just creating and working right there in the bakery. Another question. If you could completely switch industries and start fresh, what would you jump into? I'm so lucky to be part of so many different industries right now. Food and beverage, retail, real estate, biotech. If there's an industry that I could switch into right now that I'm not currently in, I would say it's the AI space, artificial intelligence. I've been doing a lot of reading about it, and it's a phenomenon. Like this industry is going to continue to grow. It's going to set the tone and pace for all the modern technology that we have coming out that'll continue to be pushed out. So I would say AI for sure. Like keep an eye on that industry, because it's going to explode, I think, in a good way. There's another question. What is the state of entrepreneurship like in Las Vegas area? It's exploding right now in an amazing way. As I've mentioned before, Nevada is just so business friendly. This is the place where you are able to keep your money because there's no state income tax, no corporate tax, and the state statutes are really, really business friendly. The cost of living is so low, and yet you still have all the access to the big city amenities that you need to help grow your business. I'm excited because this is an emerging city. We have so many amazing things that are planned and upcoming, and it's exciting to be part of a city when it's still in that growing phase, because that means that you get to be part of something really great, and so do your companies. So another question here. What do you think the most important skill is for an entrepreneur? I I think being resilient. I don't know if that's a generic answer, but it's 100% true. There's so many crazy things that happen even in day-to-day during business. You could have crazy clients, you could have crazy colleagues, you could have so many things go wrong, and as an entrepreneur, you have to be resilient, you have to bounce right back. You take the L and you bounce right back, and you also have to be resourceful. It's not enough to point out when something goes wrong. You have to not only be able to identify it, but then also figure out, why is it a teachable moment? What are the lessons out of this that I can take, I can internalize, and I can improve upon, so that way this doesn't happen again? Like, what steps can I take to mitigate something like this happening again? So be resourceful, be resilient, and also reach out to mentors, reach out to people who have more experience than you in whatever it is that you're doing, because none of us can do it alone. If there's anything I've learned, that's 100% true. None of us can do it alone. So reach out to people who have more experience than you in the space that you're in, and don't be scared to ask for help. You'll find that people are usually very willing to give you a piece of advice and share the knowledge that they have. Another question. Have you been able to make an impact on Snapchat yet? I have not, in the sense that I don't utilize Snapchat. What I've found for me is that I just concentrate on the mediums where I have strength in. So I have good followings on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And so those are the three mediums and platforms that I really concentrate on, as opposed to kind of spreading myself thin and trying to be on every single platform. I just focus on the ones where I have a presence and I have an audience, and I try to provide great actionable content to that audience on the platforms that I'm already established on. So another question, who's the entrepreneur you want to meet that you haven't already? That's a great question. There's so many amazing ones. I would say Mark Cuban is definitely like on the top of the list. I love that he's involved in so many different industries, and he's really diversified himself, yet has totally stayed true, at least in my opinion, to his personal message, which is, touting himself as a competent business person who cares about his family, cares about his businesses, cares about his community, and he just continues to espouse that, yet is able to have his hands in so many different things. So I love that he's so diversified, and it's definitely how I try to model my businesses and my work as well. That's another question. What's the best way to increase your following on Instagram? Wow. I think that the main way is really just putting out consistent content. I get a lot of inbounds from people who say that, they'll visit my page for inspiration, or they'll visit my page to try to get, motivated or get a great idea. Or sometimes they just visit my page to, keep up with my life. But whatever that is, I try to continue to espouse that and make sure that I'm putting out that same branding and messaging and content that is helpful to people who follow me on there. Of course, people, utilize hashtags, that kind of thing as well. But I find that I have less kind of randoms who find me from hashtags, but it's more just people who are consistently visiting my page because they get something out of the content that I'm putting out. Let's see here. Snapchat or Instagram? I would say I'm an Insta girl. I have been utilizing the kind of like Insta Snap feature, like it's like Snapchat on Instagram. I've been utilizing that quite a bit, and that's been a lot of fun because I've been able to post, I guess, a little bit more than I usually would, and you get a little bit more of a glimpse of what's going on like in my daily life, like day-to-day life. So that's been fun, but as I said before, I enjoy really concentrating on the platforms where I'm established and I have a following, because I want to make sure that I'm, servicing that audience and engaging with the people who I already have an established connection with, instead of trying to spread myself too thin and be on every single platform that's out there, because there are just so many, and there'll be more to come. So I just concentrate on the ones that I'm already established in. So if you were in your young and hungry phase, I still am, what type of mentorship or educational content could Youngry provide, inspire you to achieve your dreams? I think any sort of content that can be put out there to provide actionable advice and tips. We live in this instant information age, right? Anything that we want to look up, we just ask Siri or we Google it. I think it's wonderful that Youngry is going to be able to provide not only great actionable content, but it's going to be coming from sources that have been there, done that. They've lived through it, they've experienced it, they've done it in business. And so the content that you're getting is not just generic, or it's not just coming from a writer who doesn't know what it's like to be an actual entrepreneur as well. I think that's wonderful that Youngry is providing that, and that's definitely stuff that I would look for if I was in the startup phase, for sure. What else? What other items can I help with? How would you say face-to-face marketing is successful for self-branding? Oh my gosh, I think face-to-face is everything. That's definitely something I learned during my time with the pageantry. I did a lot of face-to-face community efforts and a lot of engagement face-to-face, and there's no better way to build a rapport with someone than sitting down with them and getting a chance to look them in the eye and chat with them and learn more about them and have them learn more about what you do. I think without that, it's really difficult to build an engaged audience, because there's only so many things that translate well across social media channels, right? Whether that's through image, whether that's through video, even this is a live chat, but frankly, I'm looking at an iPad. I'm looking at myself right now. I unfortunately don't get to see all of your pretty faces. I wish I did. And so it creates a little bit of a different engagement, as opposed to all of us sitting down at a table, having drinks and dinner and discussing business, or even best practices. Definitely face-to-face engagement is my number one choice if it comes to sharing knowledge and getting a chance to work with other people as well. What other information could I provide that would be helpful? As I mentioned, definitely going out and getting engaged in your community for sure. All of us are so busy, I get it, but take the time. For me, for example, one of my favorite things to do, I don't have a dog. I grew up with dogs. I miss having dogs, but I don't have time to be a responsible pet owner, and so I haven't purchased a dog or adopted a dog yet. But one of the things that I love to do with my girlfriends is we get a chance to volunteer with Nevada SPCA, and that's how I can get my dog fix in. You get a chance to hang out with the dogs, you walk them, you pet them, play with them, and that's able to fulfill my dog fix, on a selfish level. But also, we're getting a chance to volunteer, get out there, get engaged in the community, and again, you just get a chance to meet people who you otherwise wouldn't have a chance to meet, and it's just so helpful for not only personal branding, but also everything that you're doing in business too. So, what other pieces of information? Well, thanks so much for joining me today. I had a great time. Thank you so much for all the wonderful questions. And if you have any other questions, or if you think of anything else as a follow-up or anything like that, please feel free to reach out. You can find me obviously on social at Lisa Song Sutton. And you can always email me as well. So just get in touch anytime, and thank you so much to Youngry for putting this on. Have a positive day, guys.